Hello, everybody. It is Blasted Ashashi. You got me, Huey. We got Pocan Joe and Spider Grandpa looking a little tired. He's ready to take his grandpa nap, but we got to do this show first and get it done and over with. Hey, Mike, I did do some editing to the shirt that I have on. I do have you right there, right in the middle, just so you feel better.
Can you put me a little lower? I feel I
Where
need
you
to be. I feel like I need to be closer to your crotch.
Oh, that's a little too low for my taste. That's in my no-no square. You don't belong in my no-no square. We are Blasted Stash. We are reviewing books that came out May 27th, 2020. But before we jump into the books, we definitely want to ask you guys to go over to our social media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. If you want to pick up a cool t-shirt like the Thunderlust shirt, you can go over to Teespring and pick that up. You could also go to Patreon where you can get a book of the month. We're going to be announcing the winner for May next week, so definitely come by for that. We'll be shipping out a book, the zombie book, Scouts versus Zombies. No, that's not what it was. Junior Braves of the Apocalypse. We'll be going out to one of the winners next month. We do have some other independent creative spotlights coming up. We're trying to get those scheduled. So definitely appreciate that. But before we jump into the books, it's going to be kind of another short week because there wasn't a whole lot out. We are going to be talking maybe a little bit about what we've been doing, what we've been watching, consuming throughout the week. We'll start with you, Mike. What have you been doing besides comic books this week?
Real quick, I want to shout out Davis Comic Finds, who's in here, which I've learned if you have a thumbnail of Craven, he will watch your video no matter what's on it.
Davis?
He's a big Craven fan.
Oh, is he?
And it just happened in one of my recent hauls. I had a Craven cover on the thumbnail. Oh, yeah.
My printer's messed up, but it's not printing out properly. You got a whole bunch of lines across your face. But I'm going to put it right.
I need you to put that on your headboard, on your bed.
No, not on my headboard. He'll go right here on my Batman poster so I can look at it ever so lovingly.
Gotcha. What have I been doing? Working. Actually, I had 3 days off again. I hung out with Joey one of them nights. I didn't get my food because, reasons. Because I'm white.
They didn't put his order in. But he ate for free. So, I mean, what is he complaining about?
I finally watched Stargirl, which I thought was pretty good. What else have I been doing? Animal Crossing, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat's new story came out.
That's a RoboCop?
With RoboCop, yeah.
Okay.
RoboCop's not part of the actual story, but he is a downloadable character.
Oh, okay.
And it's weird because he could jump pretty good in this. I don't remember RoboCop being all that, agile.
Super rockets, man.
No, yeah, he was very stiff the way he moved. He had no speed about him at all.
So, yeah, that's it.
What about Pocan Joe AF?
I had a tooth pulled out of my skull. That kind of hurt. So we met up with Mikey and them and Drake and wait for his food. And I've been getting into casting metals. New hobby during the quarantine. I casted some Star Wars figure monster thing. I casted that. I'm still learning, so don't make fun. But I'm proud of it. And reading comic books finally. So that was awesome. And working. I'm still working.
Yeah, same here. I've been working. I was talking to Joe in the off air. The temperature has changed so dramatically this past week. It was running 65. And all of a sudden, bam, now we're up to 85, 90. And it just totally wiped me out this week working outside. But I have watched a couple movies throughout the week. I ended up watching 1917, which I thought was a pretty good movie.
I watch that.
You still have to watch that, you said?
Yeah, I still have to watch that. I haven't seen that yet.
I watched Jumanji 2. I watched it the second time. I saw it in the theater with my dad and my son, but I watched it with my daughter and my wife. Still watching. It wasn't nearly as good as the first one, or even as good as the Robin Williams one. Still watching Stargirl. Watch episode 2 on that. You know, it's still.
That came out? I didn't know episode 2 came out.
Yeah, episode 2's out. And I'm still watching Harley Quinn on the DC universe. So a few things here and there. And this past weekend, if you saw me on Instagram, I've been doing the dividers and comics. Built a whole new shelf for my comics. You can't see it right here, but I have no space for clothes anymore in here. It is all comic books. So half my collection behind me, half the collection in the closet. So I was building like stuff like that all weekend long. So been busy.
You like it in the closet?
I come out once in a while, but usually never live on YouTube.
Gotcha. I'd like a tour of your closet one day.
You like to tour my closet? Maybe Baltimore. We'll see if that happens. I think in Baltimore, I think it's still going on. I'm planning on trying to make it out. That's in October, and that could be a lot of fun going out there. Never have been to the East Coast, or I guess not the East Coast. That's the furthest east I would have to go so far.
Yeah, it doesn't get much more east than Baltimore Comic Con.
Yeah. So
yeah. I mean, I don't know where you want to go. I mean,
it's into Chesapeake Bay.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, the furthest east I've been before was Chicago. You know,
we could probably take it to Tangier Island, but
you know what? Let's take him to Tangier Island.
Yes, I do.
No, I don't know if I want to do that.
Well, you might not want to leave.
My God.
This must be some inside kind of joke here that I'm missing.
Real quick, we should explain the joke. So Tangier Island has the oldest accent in the United States. The way they speak is still very reminiscent of colonial times, and it's not trying to be different. They're just like people in Boston have that accent. Well, Tangier Island for the longest time was cut off from the mainland, especially during colonial times. So you just develop that accent there. And they're island people, and they do not trust outsiders.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
But they have their own type of oyster. So it's actually very good seafood there.
Don't eat oyster, don't eat seafood. So that doesn't appeal to me at all. So
really?
Nope. No seafood. Tuna fish. I'll eat tuna fish out of the can, but that's it. Maybe a fish stick once in a while. But let's jump into comic books. Let's talk about comic books. That's why we're here.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Mike, why don't you start us out on a comic this week? Whatever you want to do.
Get you.
So we'll do Amazing Spider-Man number 43. So again, with this week, it's been a while since I read an Amazing Spider-Man. And this one, I guess we're at the tail end of a storyline, so kind of lost. But Spider-Man and Boomerang are looking for something called the Lifeline Tablet, and they're fighting Gog in the sewer for whatever reason, and he's gigantic. The mayor Kingpin and his people are trying to kill Gog or whatever the fuck his name is. Because they feel he's a threat to the city, so they start shooting him with machine guns, and Spider-Man don't like that, blah, blah, blah. Boomerang finally puts Spider-Man I'm medicated, so Boomerang finally puts Gog to sleep with a sleep Boomerang. Gog is stupid, Boomerang's stupid, and I didn't care for this. At the end, we get a scene reminiscent of back in the day when Doomsday was first appearing, and he was trying to bust through the metal wall or door or whatever it was. Let me show you. Something's coming, so it's probably Doomsday. It's going to be the DC Marvel crossover. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go back to my room.
Back to the closet, Mike.
Back to the closet. So something's coming out of that vault. Maybe it's Geraldo.
With Capone's treasures?
Yes.
Maybe Jimmy Hoffa might be down there too somewhere.
I think, Spider-Man's about to pick up, though, because they got that Kindred coming into play again.
Yeah.
The guy with this the guy with the centipede. So I'm looking forward to that. So
is that the guy that the character they introduced at like Spider-Man #1 that they really haven't done much with?
Yeah, he pops up every now and then, but we do know that he knows Spider-Man like personally in some way, shape, or form because they mentioned that during the whole Craven the Hunt Central Park thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't read it other than like the first few issues, and I dropped it. So,
so like the fact that the cat has a big ass centipede.
So it's a stash just because it's leading into something good?
No, it's a blast. This book sucks.
Oh, okay. How about you, Joe? Did you read that book?
Yes, I did. And I got things to say about it. It's a bad story. And it's a bad story because we're being led to believe that Cog is the way he is because of nurture versus nature. He's really this, in the last issue, he was this playful little thing from an alien planet, and he was given the tablets to protect them. And he's really just missing home. And every time the tablets are missing from him, which Boomerang had, it makes him grow angry. And it's just a bunch of nonsense. Nobody cares. It's not that interesting of a story. It's a nature versus nurture story, right? And at the end, ha ha ha, he's our pet now, and he bites our roommate. Ha ha ha.
Oh yeah, yeah. They keep him as a pet. I don't.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't care. Like, I can't get behind this story, right? It's like there's no clear-cut bad guy in it. You made everybody really a good guy, and we're all friends, and we're all gonna sit on the couch, eat popcorn, and watch a movie. And oh, look, you made him a friend. I was like, oh my god, that's so. If I was a 16-year-old girl, maybe. However, I do have a theory about the Vault, though. I think that's the Vault from Ravencroft.
Okay.
And the monsters getting out, or
whatever, yeah. And I think Kindred's going to have something to do with that because we have that cop guy, the vigilante cop guy. We know he's coming back too because Kindred's been talking to him in the last issues. I pay attention to the details in the stories because I want to know when the next launch happens. Because really, I just find myself wading through a lot of these amazing Spider-Man books just to find out more about, because I'm actually genuinely interested in the Kindred character. I want to know more about that. So that's
going to ruin that shit too. It's
right?
going to be Aunt May.
Right? That'd be awesome. So, but all in all, it's just another story about, oh, he just seems like a bad guy if you just understand them. And of course, Boomerang rushes to action and doesn't think things through. And Spider-Man's got to outwit everybody. Okay, great. We know he can do that. I got an idea. Maybe I'm crazy here. What do you say we have some great splash pages with some great action scenes and actually show some battles with our hero actually involved in them? Now, that would be awesome. Or maybe I'm just a bigot. Like, I don't know.
Ryan Otley is still the artist on this, by the way.
Yeah. And Brian Otley's good. Like, the art's not bad in it, right? I generally don't judge art. But the art's good in it, but there's just no action poses. It's just a bunch of, oh, look, he shot web into into the face of the mayor. Ha ha ha. It's like, oh, really? That's what we're doing? Okay. So, yeah. Real quick, just jumped into the room. He wants to say hi to everybody. The character that Jack Nicholson played, and Hoffa, Huey. That was a good movie. You're right. And what up, Huey, Joey, and Michael?
He might be making fun of me because maybe it came out Huffa, but it was Jimmy Hoffa, is what I said.
Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa. So I read a book this week too, similar to what you're talking about with Spider-Man. It's been a while. I really got backlogged on it, but I had to read something this week, and I'm like, well, I didn't go back and read the back issues, so I'll jump back into it. Teen Titans number 41. And same kind of thing. I'm kind of lost in the story. I was able to get the gist of it. Jen's trapped in a ring. She's controlled by this ring, and she can't break free. But the power has always been with her the whole time, not the ring. The ring never controlled her. She controlled the power. So she realized that, was able to free herself. And the Teen Titans help her free her brothers. And now they have their own, they can live their own life. But now, he's making a prostate exam Monday. Joe's sitting a prostate exam. But Jin's actually leaving the Teen Titans now. There's this love triangle between Jin, Crush, and Robin too. So it's kind of a weird triangle there. But so Jin may no longer be part of the Teen Titans. But I did like the fight scene they did, because they said they weren't going to be able to take him over. They used misdirection. Here Flash is running in, and the guy stops. And he goes, you can't beat me. He goes, I was just part of the distraction for him to come in, and they all kind of use their own power to defeat the guy.
Is it just me, or does Crush seem like the trailer park girl that's just maybe a little too edgy sometimes?
Maybe.
She is Lobo's daughter.
Yeah, she is Lobo. It's still rumored it may be Harley and Lobo's daughter.
Yeah. Still a rumor, yeah.
Yeah. So
we know they have a kid from the future Harley, old lady Harley. Yeah, we know they have a kid.
I like Teen Titans, though. Even though I was kind of lost on that, I'll probably go back and read the other ones just to make sure.
It was a decent read for a while there.
Yeah. Are you still picking up Teen Titans, Mike?
I think I ordered that one. I don't know. I didn't pick up that one. But when Robin was keeping all the villains, in his secret during that was pretty good. But,
yeah, they're still talking about that too, because Robin wants everybody to trust him. Be like, wait, dude, you just had a total prison downstairs. You didn't tell anybody. You just did a mind wipe on everybody. Why should we
randomly trust you?
Yeah. So this goes back to that. What about you, Joe? You didn't read Teen Titans, but what other books you got you want to talk about?
Let's talk about this Dead Day thing. We all read that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me find it. I guess I should have maybe checked before I picked it up. I like the concept of this. I'm not sure how I feel about the story yet. I need more of the story. So if you don't know Dead Day, apparently there's this new tradition I'm going to assume the whole world, but this takes place in the United States, where the dead actually rise from the dead or from the grave to visit old friends, loved ones, whatever the case may be. And they're rotten zombies. Like, they don't come out like they just stepped out of heaven or anything like that. They're rotten. I like the idea of how passive everybody has become, and it's almost become like a Halloween part 2. Like, it's a celebration to a lot of people. Warnings go out to remind people not to have sex with them and stuff like that, and know who's coming, know where your loved one is, how to return them, who to call if the body doesn't make it back to the grave by sunset. It's just dead on the driveway. In this story, we have a family. And apparently the mother had a relationship with another person. She made this promise to them. So when this person comes a knocking, we don't know if he's dead or alive yet. I'm assuming he's dead. He won't take his helmet off. He's riding a motorcycle. But apparently they're going to go kill somebody. We don't know why. And apparently the husband's kind of okay with it. He's not, he doesn't like it, but he's not going to stop. So I was like, okay, now we know what kind of guy you are. You're that guy.
Cuck.
Right? I mean, if my wife's going to go hang out with some dead dude, I'm going to have a problem with that. I do like the interaction in here because there's apparently a cult now that kind of sees this as more of a religious day than anything else. So that's kind of interesting. But we keep getting snapshots of the local prison, right? They put guards outside because some prisoners are about to come out and they got a problem, right? They got a vendetta. You see things like that in here too. It was okay for the first issue. I don't want to get too hung up on it. I do want to read issue 2. I just don't know if I want to pay cover price for it at this point. I did like the concept of it. It definitely breaks down. What do we call it? Oh, shoot. Now I'm trying to think. I got ahead of myself. The social dynamic of communities. It kind of breaks that down in here, too. And I thought that was really interesting about how that's broken down. So I'll probably pick up issue 2 if it's sitting in there, if the comic book store orders it. Also, they make a lot of references in here. Oh, yeah, I forgot. There's one important thing. I don't know if anybody else caught this. It's actually kind of funny. On Dead Day, in the beginning, it talks about this particular poem that was by Michael Cates. Michael Cates, if you don't know, became a very famous poet.
John Cates.
John Cates, that's it. I'm sorry. John Cates became a very famous poet several years after his death because all of his poems were written to his brother in a letter on his deathbed. And the one that they reference in there is On Death. He literally wrote that while dying of tuberculosis on the bed. So I thought that was interesting. And also, they kept referencing, you'll see signs in the background art of Daniel 12. Chapter 12, verse 2, which talks about people rising from the grave, both the good and the bad parts of it. So I thought that was interesting too, that they threw these little things in there. I thought that was really good. So I liked that. Somebody really took their time to develop this story, and they're trying to appease a lot of people. So I don't know how issue 2 is going to go, but I'm looking forward to it. I'll check it out. So right now, it's neither a Blash or a Stash. I got to give it issue 2 to really clarify it.
What about you, Mike? What did you think of Dead Day?
Didn't really care for it. I don't like my zombies like this. I like them ripping people's spines out and fucking eating brains and shit. So I don't think I'm going to be picking up issue number 2. This is a blast. What's really funny is in the back of the book, it's almost like a pamphlet of a family guide to understanding and staying safe during the return of a loved one. So that was kind of funny. That was probably better than the whole book itself. But so yeah, this is a blast for me.
Wow, actually, this is my pick of the week. So we're all over the board. I mean, it really wasn't a whole lot out this week either. So, but I actually really enjoyed this. I like the concept of it. Although I'm like you were talking about, Joe, about the husband saying, "Yeah, I don't really like you doing that." But
really like you go.
Like,
dude, more like, no, you're not going.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, I like the concept of it. I thought it was really great. What was I going to say about it? It just brings back this interesting dynamics, because it's not like it's an annual thing that happens every year. Certain things have to line up in order to happen. So it's not
it happens every year, but it doesn't happen at the same time every year. And the cult can kind of predict it. Oh, that's where the little girl was like, they always predict it every year. So I thought that was interesting. So obviously there's more to the cult. I think that's the mystery behind it.
Yeah, so you got someone come back for family, someone come back for revenge. It's just kind of interesting concept. I really enjoyed it. I did order the Alan Qua, I think it is the variant. I'll show you the picture on that.
Variant for 1.
Yeah. There's the Virgin variant right there.
Oh yeah,
that didn't happen in the story.
What's that? That didn't happen in the story?
That's a little misleading.
It is. Well, I would think a lot of the covers are misleading, especially when you go with the meat and potatoes kind of stuff. That nothing to do with the story. Why is Spider-Gwen on every cover when she had nothing to do with the story? A lot of crap
because
like that.
She's Spider-Gwen.
Because she's Spider-Gwen, that what you said? That's lame. But I liked the day a lot. I really enjoyed it. I think I will be picking up issue 2. I want to figure out what's going on, who they want revenge for, and does the cuck actually come back and get his wife back? I want to know that stuff.
Plus, the kid snuck off and went to a party. I want to know what happened with that too.
Yeah, with that cult leader girl, or whatever leads the cult.
Yeah.
So, okay, we'll move it on.
Quick, we hit up the chat real quick because Double S is killing it in the chat tonight. He is engaging all out. Is the ring from the Lord of the Rings, Huey? Ha ha ha! The Precious. Talking about Teen Titans. Dead Day was okay. Normal face. Have you read Avengers yet? I can't wait. Oh, when we get to that. Well, I'm just going to leave it alone. Is he related to Donnie Cates? I'm assuming you're talking about John Cates. No, it's with a K.
I thought it was Keats. John Keats. Is it Cates?
I believe it's pronounced Cates. I could be wrong. I just looked it up. I don't just know this stuff. It's Keates.
Oh, it's on the front of the.
Yeah. Anyway, it don't matter. And obviously, he's very shocked that Huey liked Dead Day. I assure you, he's not, because John, whatever we want to call his last name, has died in like the 1800s.
Keats.
So I'm going to assume he's not.
Keats. Keats. Keats.
I did that. Keats.
Hey, do you know how Siri pronounces my name? Like, seriously, don't come by that.
How does it pronounce your name? I got to know this now.
Pocken. Pocken.
Where's it at? Okay. I thought it was Keats, but I could be wrong. Okay, moving on to Mike. Back to your what do you got next for us, Mike?
All right, we got Star Wars Dr. Aphra #1.
Dr. Aphra.
Dr. Aphra. Since they're relaunching all the Star Wars books with the anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, of course, we're getting another Dr. Aphra here, set in that timeline, set in that time frame. Of Empire. If you're not familiar with Dr. Aphra, she's like a Indiana Jones of the Star Wars world. She's an archaeologist, and she's a badass. She's a bounty hunter / archaeologist, and dying.
Talking about that gig economy, it's like a guy that works a job and Ubers at night.
Yeah. Like I said, this one starts off on Hoth on Echo Base. Basically, all this is setting up a mission for her to go steal a couple of curse rings. I'm going to keep reading it. I like the character. I kind of fell off the last series, but yeah. So pick up Dr. Aphra. Give it a try.
I was thinking about picking up, but I like nope. I just passed on it. I always thought Dr. Aphra might have been like a galactic gynecologist or something. I didn't know I had nothing to do with it. So
no, she's literally Indiana Jones. She's actually like in this one, she's sitting in a university and people are where is it? Let me show you.
But I really got to know, is it an actual PhD or is it an honorary PhD? Because it's totally different. One thing about her, she used to work for Darth Vader, bringing him relics and stuff. She checked his prostate exam for Darth Vader.
He's always trying
probe.
He's a thorn in her side. The Shadow University, blah blah blah. Blah.
What?
What?
What are you looking for? Did you read that, Joe?
No. I was actually considering it too, but I was scared that if I picked it up, because I kind of flipped through it really quick, and I was scared that I was going to jump into the middle of a story and not know what's going on. So I was like, nah.
Now this starts fresh, her first run was set during A New Hope. This one is set during Empire.
Oh, so they're doing it in chronological order. Oh, that's cool. That's actually kind of cool.
Just how they just relaunched Star Wars?
Yeah.
And Darth Vader. That they're set during Empire. Like, you find out, like in the Star Wars book, that the reason why Leia knows so much about the carbonite that Han's frozen in is because she herself was frozen in carbonite.
Really?
Yeah. So it's.
I need to get the director's cut.
It's pretty cool.
All right, Huey, what do you got? We got too much dead air going on.
Apparently Double S loved my galactic gynecologist joke. I thought it was good. I don't know. I'm going to go with Venom number 25.
Breaking into the big book. All right, here we go.
For me, this was a total blast because all this.
What?
It was. All I did was recap everything that's been going on, and I guess
That's
with the
good.
new character, Virus or whatever, was he that big splash page toward the end? Talking about something's coming worse than Null. But overall, I thought, dude, for 25, I should have some more action versus just telling us what we already knew, what happened in the story. I mean, he's sitting there telling the Avengers everything, why, okay, this happened. I'm not a great dad, but I'm trying. I lost my hand. And Venom came back and said, no, I can't give you a hand. It's too far gone, but I can help you out. Be the stranger, using your left hand instead of, I don't know if he's right or left hand dominant, but that'd be totally weird during bunk time, wouldn't it? Having a Venom hand.
That's a good show. That's a good one.
That would totally change that thing up completely. Overall, though, it was a blast for me. I really wanted to enjoy it, but it was a blast because I knew all this stuff going into it because I've been reading Venom all the way up through. I've been enjoying Venom all the way through, but unfortunately, it didn't have enough action for me for the $6 cover price I had on there. So unfortunately, it's a blast. I could have read 26 and been totally fine, I think. What about you, Joe? What do you think of Venom? You're golfing over there, so I'm assuming you must have loved it, and I must be totally wrong.
No, you're not wrong. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I'll never tell you you're wrong for your opinion. But this is my pick of the week.
Word odds.
I liked this. First off, we go through an identity crisis in it with existential reasons. That was really awesome. We saw some introspective of a character, and they didn't make it seem like it was he learned some great lesson. We just learned that he's just a guy that's trying to figure it out like everybody else. That's about as real as you can get when dealing with a comic book character. That was legit. Also, it's hard to ask for help, and it's hard to open up in front of people. And I really like the way they did that in here. I don't know how the artist did it, but in a couple of panels, it seemed like the eyes were welting up as you were reading it, and I was like, "That's an unusual effect. I've never really seen that. Like they're either one panel not, next panel they are." And this one, you kind of see this kind of gradual. I found that very interesting. And then I don't agree with the fact that we've already known everything that happened on the island because this whole time we never really kind of understood the extent of Dylan's powers. And we were finally given that. We've been asking, what is this kid like? 1 minute he's doing this, things are disappearing. Next minute his eyes are turning. What does all this mean? And we finally get that answer in here. Like we find out like he's kind of freaking powerful. If not at the same level as Null at this point, because he can remote control. I don't know if remote control is the right word, but he can control symbiotes from
remote control.
Yeah, he can do that. He can also project himself into the minds of other people and have, as long as they're symbiote related, I'm assuming at that point. And he was able to do that. And then we actually see that he's actually not only scared, but he's scared of his own powers too, because that's got to be like crazy, right? I really like the way they handled this. I've never seen Venom where the story and the art just fell so in line with each other. And then right there at the end, asking, I guess maybe I'm projecting into this because like asking for help, but like when I ask for help, that's a very rare thing because I have trouble asking. I'm like, hey, and I'm broken. Like I got prosthetic hands and bad shoulders. If I need help with something, I'm like, if you want to help, yeah, that's fine. And deep down inside, I'm like, please help me because my body's hurting. Like, it's that hard, right? And to actually see this happening here, and it happened in a way that it just seemed genuine. It seemed like a guy thing. I don't know how to describe it. It wasn't like he was being a crook or anything like that. He was like just legitimately asking for help and just wanted that learning that, as a team, you get more done than as an individual. I love the am I good? Am I bad? Am I a father? I think everybody's kind of gone through that in their head, little self-introspection. There's nothing wrong with that. I would hope everybody would at some point. That's a state of mental wellness if you do. I loved this. I got this cover, and then I got to thinking, where have I seen this cover before? And then I realized it looks a lot like those black and white Spawn covers that were popping out like every week for Spawn. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I got one of those. But other than that, I really enjoyed this. And anytime you add a Venom T-Rex into a comic book, that just moves it up another notch. My pick of the week, super
That
sad.
was a couple issues ago too.
Yeah.
So,
Well, every time they do that, I'll keep that. You know that's going to be in a movie. I'll be rich.
Okay, Mike, what'd you think of Venom 25? The
I
deciding
absolutely-
vote here.
No, it was a stash for me. But
Dang it.
in the in the beginning, Eddie's talking to himself, or he's talking to somebody we don't know till the end. He's talking to the Avengers, basically warning him about Null's coming, and his little partner in crime, whatever his name is, Toxic or whatever. What'd you say, Dave?
I think it's Virus.
Virus.
Virus?
That's it. The old and the new, he says. The old being Null and the new being, I guess, whatever. Who cares? It was good. It wasn't my pick of the week by no means. Like the fact they recap everything from pretty much this whole run, the War of the Realms stuff. You get Carnage as a shark, and Double S knows I love my shark porn. So,
Yeah, you got your shark.
so yeah, this was a stash, not my pick of the week, but
Do you think this is going to tie in with Thor? At Cates' Thor with that big planet eater coming in
It's going to tie in with
I never thought
Thor.
about that.
It's going to tie in with Silver Surfer Black. It's going to tie into a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have another epic event coming.
Definitely.
I'm so looking forward to reading this Empire bullshit.
I'm not picking up any Empire.
I read issue
Yeah,
1. It wasn't that bad, but I don't know if it's a keeper.
Okay, I mean, I'll still continue to pick up Venom. I'm not saying that this is it. I'm done with Venom, done with Cates. I'm not saying that at all. But I just wanted more action out of this book, being like a milestone book, being 25, that would have a little more action in it. I brought up Venom. Now we're on to Joe with your next book.
Oh, I should blast something now. All right, so I don't know if you guys got this or not. I'm sorry. So I got this Disaster Inc. Did any of you guys get this?
I got it. Yeah, I got
Okay.
the
This is boring.
Boring.
Boring. All right, so if you don't know, think of it like this. A bunch of people want to go on a vacation. So instead of they want to go someplace exciting. So instead of ghost hunting or crocodile hunting or climbing Kilimanjaro or hunting something or climbing something, what do? You go check out an old nuclear blast that happened in Japan. Now I want to say it's Fukushima.
It's based on a real thing that happened.
Yeah, it's based off the real thing that happened in there. So what do you got to do, right? You can't just go visit that kind of place. So you find this shady underground guy who's got a girl that owes him money to kind of run the books and everything for him and distract. And you get a group together and you go to this place because it's off limits, right? And that's super crazy, right? No, that's lame. There is something that is kind of cool in it. Apparently, there's some radioactive ghost samurai that's hanging out in this thing, chopping heads off people, or at least one person that we know of. Again, by the point the story was over, I kind of already forgotten that happened at the beginning of the book because I'm just like I get the rogue scallion character, and that could be very interesting. But they were kind of doing this thing where they were kind of making him the rogue scallion, but he's really just really dark underground guy who doesn't tolerate shit. And they kind of just flip the character back and forth, and it just kind of throws the story off. So I didn't like it because of that. So this is a huge blast for me. Yeah, this is going in the auction. That's how much of a blast. Like the next auction, if you're like, oh wow, I really want to read Disaster Inc., come to my auction, you'll get it for $1 plus shipping. That's where I'm at.
What about you, Mike? What did you think of Disaster Inc.?
It was a disaster.
Nice, I like it. Good pun.
Short and to the point. You know, it's the.
That's it. I mean, I don't know. I got distracted by the butterflies in the beginning, and I couldn't keep my mind off the butterflies. And then somebody's head gets cut off, and then it just goes to shit. I mean, it's got a cool cover. It's got a samurai ghost. I don't know. Yeah, not my thing. Blast, turd of the week.
Yeah, this is a blast for me too, but we know the butterflies are going to play a bigger part of it because they're throughout the whole book, the beginning, at the end, and on the cover of issue number 2. You know,
I'll go ahead and clear it up for you. What the big thing is: a samurai must float like butterfly, but sting like wasp. They're going to pull in some Eastern philosophy.
Isn't that Muhammad Ali?
They're going to throw in some Eastern philosophy bullshit just to show that somebody did some freaking research in this thing. But the truth is, at the end of the day, it's going to be garbage. I guarantee the old guys that were the nuclear samurais because they went in and tried to save everybody, those are your samurai guys. They're dishonoring spirits or something, and it's just going to be garbage. When it's that predictable, it can't be that good.
You say something else there, Mike?
What's that?
Were you going to say something else?
No, I was distracted by the butterflies again.
Sorry. I'm sorry I interrupted you. I'm sorry, just God.
The only thing I thought was cool about the whole book was it was kind of based on an actual event. You know, that was the only, not that it was saving grace for that book, but that was the only part I found interesting. Okay, cool. They're going to go off an actual natural disaster, and they're going to build on that. But the story fell flat on.
Actually, they did better than that. The old guys that did go in, so the young guys wouldn't have to, that's an actual event that happened. A bunch of older gentlemen wouldn't let the younger guys go in there because they were scared that they wouldn't be able to have children later. So they decided that, you know, we've had children, we've lived long lives, we should be the ones that go in. And they did. That is legit. The nuclear samurai story is a legit thing. That did happen. And that was really cool. But it's not a good story.
Yeah, if they would have made it like the movie My Name is Bruce, I would have been a little more interested in about the spirit that's protecting the graveyard and based off of fear of ramen noodles or something.
Yeah, right?
That's racist.
Slightly.
Hey, I didn't write the movie.
Whatever. We're not in Minneapolis. We can do what we want. What just happened?
Man, Joe, that's a thumbs down right there. Mike, what about you next?
My next and last book, plus my pick of the week, is Avengers number 33. The only reason I picked this up because that Looney Tunes Moon Knight was going to be part of it, so that piqued my interest. So this one opens up with Moon Knight hanging out at fucking Iron Fist's mountain or whatever the fuck it is, Kung Lao or whatever.
Kung Lao.
Kung Chao used Iron Fist.
Whatever. Waiting for him to show up. And when he does, he beats his ass and steals his powers. I'm like, what the fuck? Then he goes after Doctor Strange, does the same to him. Tries to go after Black Panther, but his power's in his blood, apparently. So I don't know what happens. I don't know if he just leaves him alone or captures him. Or then he takes out Thor and he steals his fucking hammer. We learned that the Thor's hammer is made from moon rock, so Moon Knight can control it. And at the end, we learn he's doing this all for his god, Khonshu, who they're trying to save the world. This was awesome. I thought this was pretty good. I love the Moon Knight character, his multiple personalities. Stash and pick of the week.
What about you, Joe, on Avengers?
I loved this. This was so good. I'm happy we picked it up right now because my DC book, I ended up picking up book 2 of it, and I got a feeling it would have etched this one out for me. But this is definitely a stash. I love a good Moon Knight story. I'm glad they didn't rehash he's just having a psychotic episode because, you know, he has schizophrenia. Like, they didn't really deal with that in this. Like, he has purpose and reason behind it, right? And it makes sense because now we know he has to save the world. Well, to the end of the story. We know who knows what they'll do in the next issue. They did address the fact that there are other personalities in here, but it's not the intent for it. So I thought that was really awesome. I love finding out that Urine was actually moon rock, one of the oldest things in the universe. I thought that was really smart. Whoever did, and I actually looked it up and found out that that's actually legit. Like, that was something. So I was like, holy crap. So somebody did some research, somebody did some writing, some people did some beautiful art, and guess what? We got a really cool story with some stuff about to happen. Now the question is it's Avengers, right? So what's it tying into? We have Empire, we have the Venom storyline at this point. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a tie-in with something else at this point, but we have so many things going on. What could it be a tie to? I don't know, but I'm hanging out and I can't wait for some more. It's going to be awesome.
That's another one I did not pick up. I ended up dropping Avengers because I wasn't reading it, and now you guys are making me rethink that.
Yeah, Bubba, you need to go out and get this tomorrow because this is going to be something here. $1 million book. Easy.
I don't know about all that. Well, it is the reveal that Mjolnir is made of, or whatever the fuck his hammer is.
It is. They're like that actually became something. They made a big deal out of that on Comic Collector and Comic Book Price Guide. It's already listed as the origin of Mjolnir.
Huh. So my last book for the night is Rogue Planet. I don't think anybody else read Rogue Planet. This is by Oni Press. I had high hopes for it because Colin Bunn. I really like Colin Bunn's writing. He does a lot of horror stuff. But this did not satisfy my taste for Colin Bunn. So it was pretty predictable going into it. You have very much a space crew, very alien-esque. You know, they're in hyperspace, hypersleep. They wake up, they reach their destination. They got a ping from a down satellite. They're kind of salvagers. So they're going to go salvage the ship. Well, at the very, very beginning of it, we have this little alien, his father and son, talking about how proud he is of his son, of growing up to be like a mature alien, but he ended up killing him, sacrificing him, but we don't know why. But then it jumps into the space people coming to track down that signal that they received, and they're going in there to salvage it. And of course, when they go over this hill, there's this field that's filled with ships, so they know the distress signal is a trap. And then they get attacked by a giant hamburger thing. I don't know what the hell that thing is.
It's not a tumor.
It's
Rubble.
Not the Hamburglar either. But it's a giant hamburger looking thing with mouths and eyes, and it attacks them. And then apparently it takes over some of the other people who had died there previously, and they become hamburger heads, and that's how the book ends. It looks like the meat getting pushed through the grinder. That's what it reminds me of, a hamburger.
You like your meat pushed through the grinder?
Oh man, you know it.
Don't ask how the sausage is made.
But it was too predictable. You know, the whole thing of like, oh, it's a trap. You know, I don't know. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
So I didn't care for the art very much either. So it's a blast for me.
Oh.
What about you, Joe? You have any more books this week? You have a few. Holy crap.
A couple. So Flash?
Sure.
Okay. So I don't know what happened, but my second pick of the week was this Justice League number 45, and I need to find 44. The Spectre's back, and apparently Jim Corrigan has decided that he doesn't want to be the Spectre anymore, so he goes to the one place where he can get locked up and separated from everything, the Mascara, and they send him to Titus, which is basically their kind of like locked up hell verse. So now the spirit of vengeance for God himself, and they literally, I love the fact that they did this in here. They were like, so Big G? And they were like, yeah, the Big G. Like the God, right? I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I don't know. I thought that was kind of brave of them. I know that's generally a touchy subject, but that's always been Spectre's kind of lore to him that he is the right hand of vengeance for the Lord. And they had no problems mentioning that in here. So I thought that was really cool. But what they do is when he kind of can't do what he does best as Spectre, it tends to radiate out and little nuances with people. You know how you have something that you just annoys you about somebody, but you kind of just suppress it?
I don't know what you're talking about at all.
For politeness or just it's not professional or whatever the reason, or maybe it's just not that big of a deal. Well, in this, when the heroes start fighting each other, you start finding out a lot of these little secrets about people. Like apparently Batman's kind of got a problem with Superman blasting out that, he was Clark Kent the whole time, that whole thing. And then Green Lantern apparently has a problem with Flash, that he's too uppity and yada, 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 and vice versa. You start finding out these little nuancy things. We've seen this in comic books before, but I like the fact that they did this because they have to fight legitimately somebody that God has ordained as his vengeance. So what are you going to do against that? Well, we got to go find Jim Corrigan. So therefore, we got to go to Themyscira. So Wonder Woman's leading the way, and apparently they really don't like men there, which is okay. That's their deal. They're Amazonians. That's their thing.
Patriarchy did not go over well there.
Right, but apparently they got a problem with Wonder Woman too, especially when she brings them there, and that's where they left us off on this issue. I've always been a Spectre fan. I've always found it to be an interesting character because the limits are very drawn. Also, we find out that Jim Corrigan, God, Big G God, talked directly to him in this, and he was like, basically, and I'm paraphrasing. He's like, "Dude, it's my will. You know this isn't going to work." He's like, God, I already know what happens. I'm being comical about it. It's a little bit more dramatic in here, and I loved it because, if you do believe in the Big G God, right, if that's your thing, then it's all based on faith, right? It's already predestined. It makes Christianity much more believable if something else is in charge. That's fine because there's a book written on that proves that. In this book, we're kind of reminded that that's the God that they're talking about in this. Like, this has already been ordained. Slick. I already know what's going to happen. And I thought that was interesting. I think it's dangerous ground. I'm surprised it hasn't caused some internet upstir yet because I know it's something that most people want to avoid. But I like this. And look, the Jewish kid is saying that this is kind of okay. It's not that bad. And I somehow or another missed the issue before this. So I got to go run out and find that. That's probably what I'll be doing Sunday. So I'm talked way too much on that one. All right. So King of Nowhere, I'm still hate the art in this. Oh, the art is just, it's not my favorite. It's that sketchy, scratchy kind of art. I don't really, not a fan of it. Basically, our villain is pretty much the epitome of suburban white males. So much so that he has a nail gun. That's what he kills people with. He drops a couple other bodies in here. He's looking for John Rowe, which is the normal looking guy on the cover. Him and his new buddy, which is Fishhead, they're in nowhere, where nowhere is nothing more than a bunch of freaks that aren't welcomed by society, to the point to where everybody's extreme. Nobody knows this place exists. Juro, or what's his name? Jared stops there by accident. Actually, he wakes up there half drunk and high, and he's still trying to conceptualize everything. The interesting about this is the way he speaks about knowledge in here actually starts making sense, and it's based off of philosophy called neuroism. Neuroism is too much knowledge can make you indecisive and actually stupid. So when decisions need to be made and you find yourself, because you're so big-brained, that you can't move because you got to think of every single angle, well, then at the end of the day, it will be your doom. In battle, it will kill you. Work, it will delay and get you fired, and things along those lines. He kind of his philosophy in this, and I thought that was interesting. Is it a good story, though? It's starting to go dry. After issue 3, I think I'm pretty much going to be done with this. I should be able to figure out the ending by then because it seems like a pretty baseline story.
Is it Jared from Subway?
No. No, This guy does a lot of coke and other drugs. Like
maybe that's not Jared Lawson. Wait, maybe it wasn't a Subway veggie sandwich every day. It was a Coke.
And my blast of the week: shotgun fire, grenade launcher, and then well, I would pee on it, but I'm scared that I might make it asunder and something would be able to read again. This kind of let me down. Masters of the Universe turned into a crux social justice warrior book right at the last freaking storyline that it possibly could. By the way, the saying's not I have the power anymore. It's we have the power, because Kindor in this finds out that he's part of a bigger picture, and he doesn't have to be good or bad, hence the reason why his face is split, half Skeletor, half Kindor, right? For you that don't know, Skeletor has always been Kindor before he became Skeletor. That's kind of the mythos behind that.
I knew that.
Yes. Somebody was asking about that on Instagram, and I was like, no, he's always been Kindor. But in this, and dealing with multiple dimensions, we find out that all the He-Man from all over the universe collide in to come save the day, because Kindor can't do it on his own, because he doesn't have the power. But together, we have the power. And you had every type of He-Man you could possibly think of come swinging into this. I think there's a problem with this kind of thinking. When you're trying to motivate an individual, you wouldn't say we, you would say you, right? Or if you do something really great and you want to teach it to somebody else, you wouldn't say, well, we did this. You would say, I did this, and this is the success that I had from it. This kind of subverts that, in that if everybody can take a part and everybody can have a place because they just randomly exist throughout some multiverse, I think you're sending the wrong message to people. And that's legitimately how this read, and I didn't like that. I don't like that. I like selfism. I like selfism. You rely on yourself. If you need your friends, definitely ask. But at the end of the day, your friends shouldn't do it for you. They should assist you in doing it so you can accomplish. That didn't happen in here. So, yeah. Blast. Oh, such a blast. So bad. And they waited to the last issue because the writer's not stupid. Like, I'll give the writer credit. He was smart. Because he knew if he came off with this bull crap early, yeah, those sales wouldn't have gone through.
Well, before we bounce out of here, we're almost at an hour right now. Let's just quickly run through the two potential books that are coming out next week. I got them alphabetically here. Action Comics.
You wouldn't throw that on me right now, would you?
What's that?
I haven't even had a chance to look.
I got Backtrack number 3. I like Backtrack number 1. I never picked up issue 2 though. Batman, Superman, Birds of Prey number 1. The Boys, Dear Becky.
I already have that.
You have Boys, Dear Becky?
Yep.
Where'd you get that?
If you scroll a little further, they have the variants. Where's The Boys?
That's right here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just the variants at this point. They're coming out with different variants, aren't they?
No, it wasn't supposed to release.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
I got the what's the chick's name? The Starlight or whatever?
Yeah, the Starlight chick. Yeah, I remember you showing that on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, I ordered it through somebody and it came. I was like, really?
You ordered it through was it Comic Mint?
Probably.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about getting it from there too, and I didn't. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Hugh. What you got?
We got Catwoman's 80th anniversary, 100-page spectacular. Of course, they're going to have the decades one, just like the Batman and Wonder Woman. So pick your favorite artist.
1940s.
1940s. I don't know if I'm getting any of those. I think I'm getting kind of tired on the gimmick comic books. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I got Adam Hughes and Trank Cho.
I was like that the green and purple costume.
Yeah.
And of course, here's a whole bunch of other ones too you can order outside of your comic book store.
Yeah, Comic Mint has their own exclusive too. Yeah.
J. Scott Campbell's got like 8 of them or 6 of them or something. You could order as a package. No thanks.
Not doing it.
Detective Comics is out next week, which has been really good. Looking forward to that.
I want some more of that good cult, that Riddle cult. That is awesome.
Event Leviathan Checkmate.
I don't know how I feel about that yet.
Oh, you got Finger Guns show. You want to pick up Finger Guns?
No, I picked up issue 1 and sold it in auction. Apparently, some beautiful person thought that thing was worth $10. So thank you, whoever.
Oh wow!
That because I can't. Congratulations. I hope you're happy with your buy.
Gung Ho #4. I dropped that one. Heartthrob. John Constantine. Justice League Dark.
Well, G.I. Joe.
Yeah, G.I. Joe was up there.
G.I. Joe, that snake hunt story. That's actually I've been in and out of that, but it's actually a very good story. The only reason why I'm in and out of it is because sometimes my comic book store has it, sometimes it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and with our show being on Fridays, there's no sense in like legitimately trying to order a book to get it here in time. So
yeah, and these books too. Check your comic store. We don't know exactly if they're coming out.
Yeah,
this next week or not.
No Marvel books.
Yeah, I haven't seen any Red Mother #5, Robin Hood.
Ooh, Justice League Dark.
Yep.
I'll be picking that up.
You got Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
People still read that? Like, didn't they make a show from that? What about Reaver? You were huge. I was huge on Reaver. I got to the first storyline. Is that the pickup to the next story, or was there an issue in between there?
Lost Children of Haas Hayden, but truth far worse than they could ever dream. I don't know. I picked up issue 1. I don't think I picked up any more.
I picked all the way up to that last storyline, but I can't remember if it was 6 or 5 stories. I don't remember.
Let's see. Shazam #12. Star Trek, Swamp Thing Giant, TMNT. I'd only pick up Wonder Woman for the variant cover, and that looks okay, not great. And Wretches #5. So not really a whole lot coming out next week, but definitely get a hold of your comic book store. So we're not sure if that's actually going to be out. But
Birds of Prey, woohoo!
Birds of Prey is supposed to be out. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bounce out of here. Before we do, any other announcements before we're out of here?
Yes.
Yeah, what's up, Mike?
The Delta Dog guys were fully funded.
Nice.
Fully funded in a week. So, yeah.
So, yeah, y'all need to, if you're watching this, even if you didn't go to their Kickstarter, they're fully funded. They're going with their season 2 of their comic book, Delta Dogs. They went over, I think it was actually 125% what they were asking for Delta Dogs. I've read it. I've always liked their comic books. And I generally don't blast local comics, but they're legit. Like, it's a legit good comic. Definitely check it out if you can. Delta Dogs, Millennium Comics. It's legit. And the guy's a hustler. Like, the guy's working. Like, he's not like a hustler, like selling them out of the back of a car or anything. Like, he travels to his own comic book stores. He drops off the books. He's at the Comic Cons. He's shaking hands, pressing palms, kissing babies, whatever he's got to do, because he's got a story to tell, and it's a legit story. So definitely check it out.
If you want to know a little bit more, it's about 7 cousins that all have superpowers.
Yes.
Based here in Virginia, so
it's fun.
Okay.
And what I really liked is in the first season, he doesn't tell you exactly what the people's powers are, because it's kind of a game where if you go to a Comic-Con and you tell him who has what powers and what they are, he'll give you something for free. But we should get an explanation in season 2, so it's probably going to get cut off. So definitely, I don't know, at least read the comic books. It's interesting.
Anything else from you guys? Nothing?
No, we're done. Thank you.
You brother.
My brother. Hey, you guys.
Hey, you guys.
You should put that on a belt buckle.
Right? I'll make another one and put it on a belt buckle. Need some more.
Okay, so again, make sure you go check us out on social media. Follow us over there, and we'll be back next. Well, actually, I will not be here next Friday, so either we're going to skip a week. I know.
A week. We just started on Friday night. We'll figure something out.
Joe might jump on here and run the show because I will be actually out on the trail, camping under the stars that weekend.
You know, Brokeback Mountain it.
I'm Brokeback Mountain.
Some bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah. My idea of roughing it is a Hotel 8. I'm just saying.
Hotel 8 Waffle House.
Go follow us on social medias. Where are they? Go check out our Teesprings, our cool T-shirts like this here.
Seriously, get yourself a Thunderlust shirt. That is the shirt to buy. Get yourself some Thunderlust. Otherwise, we got to take it down and we're going to come up with something else witty.
Yeah, I've got to work on designs. Maybe I might try to do it this weekend. I've said that numerous times. But we're going to go ahead and bounce out of here. So whether you lost it, whether you stashed it, happy reading, and we'll catch you guys next week.